Hi, I'm Lars, and this is my land. In my land, I get to do pretty much whatever I want. And today I want to talk about the Netflix TV show The Society and why it is better than it has any right to be. The Society is a 1-season, 10-episode, 60-minute show on Netflix. It is basically a teen drama turned sci-fi mystery thriller, and it is not what I expected. I have to say, after several months of watching the same TV show over and over and over again, yeah, I know, I have to talk about it though, because it's been my life. I needed some brain bleach. There's only so much masterpiece that my brain can take in until I just needed a little bit of a palate cleanser. So I decided to go for shitty sci-fi shows. Unfortunately for me, a couple of them were teen dramas. Not usually my bag. I was 12 a long time ago. And the Society tile makes it just look like an elite, whiter version of Euphoria, and also not really my bag. I was 12 a long time ago. No offense, we just all have our preferences. But eventually I was so desperate that I called upon those two words of which we are so well acquainted in both connotation and intonation. Fuck it, I'll watch it. And it wasn't bad. It was so much better than it should have been, or could have been, or I expected it to be. Welcome to Annoying Memos Land. Beepity beep 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 beep. I've been working on a video essay series on the TV show Lost for several months, so basically if you know anyone at all who likes the TV show Lost, find them, drag them here, and make them subscribe. It is your duty, legally and morally, as a visitor to Lars Land. Oh, thank you. My next video will be about the Beatles. It's coming out in a few days, maybe a week. Just a warning. I have the loudest chair in the universe, the driest eyes in the country, and that TV screen will just tilt to the right. I would apologize, but it's going to happen again. Back to Lars Land. This is your spoiler warning. I do spoil some of the show, but not all of it. There will be some mild to moderate spoilers, but nothing that ruins the show. The premise of the show is this. There's this town, it's called West Ham. Think Eagleton from Parks and Rec. It's like rich people, nice, bespoke shops. It's a well-groomed, well-appointed, wealthy community. Suddenly, there's this smell, and it went away and then it comes back. They call it the smell, which has to be the freaking weirdest choice for like a term. Just the smell. Something about it. I don't like that one bit. Nobody really knows what to do about the smell, but good thing is that the 16 to 18-year-olds are going off on a field trip for the rest of the week, so at least the parents don't have to worry about their unruly teens. Something happened on the way to the field trip, so they had to turn around and come back home. However, when they came back, well, nobody was home. The lights weren't even on. The town was deserted. No parents, no kids. Phones are working, but no data, no Wi-Fi, no calling 911. Otherwise, everything is as it was. So, of course, the first night is rowdy. They figure out that the church, which seems to be just the church town hall, community gathering space, shootout galley, whatever you want it to be. Once they realize that building is unlocked, it turns into a wild party. Of course, we've got some Project X style stuff. Everybody has a rager, good times to be had and all. But the next day they realize, oh shit, we are in this place, no outside connection to the world. Where the hell are our parents? Some students go out on a scouting mission and the whole town is just walled off by forest. They're actually trapped. Now we're facing a few dilemmas. First off, they're all teenagers. They're idiots. They're screwed.
If it's something we did, tell us.
Or if there's something we need to do, give us some clue.
Never would have pegged Lexi as a conduit to the heavens.
They have to figure out where are they and how do they get back home. They have to figure out how to maintain a functioning society until they can get home. And they have to learn how to sustain that society once all of their supplies run out. Big job. Obviously, in the show, we've got our natural leaders. There's this girl, Cassandra, who is fully Miss Pollyanna, complete with the bangs, and she takes a leadership role in what she thinks we should do, move everybody into a few select homes, try to conserve water, electricity, etc., any sort of resources, start tallying the groceries, start paying attention, making job lists, and making everything kind of a functioning society. Pretty sensible, straightforward. However, this is a very privileged society, and a lot of people aren't so interested in sharing. Can't really blame this kid Harry, because all of a sudden 19 people move into his home. People are forced to share bedrooms, and you can imagine how he might have felt when it was first floated to him that he would have 19 people moving in and he might have to share his room now. He got out of that, but I understand where he would be like, hey, my room, it's my house, my parents, my blah. I understand it. Those things don't really matter when you're facing a sci-fi crisis of help, we've been removed from society and can't get out. There are some very obvious adversaries. Cassandra and Harry, major contention here. This guy Campbell, he was aesthetically built off the live action version of Roger from Doug. That trope doesn't stick around for very long because he's actually very scary. It doesn't take him long to bring out weapons, start threatening people, becoming very disturbing as a person, and yikes. There's this pull for power between Cassandra and Harry and Campbell. Things begin to get a little crazy. There's a big looting incident, then people aren't feeling safe anymore, so they start stealing all these weapons. So they're trying to figure everything out on how they can live together without hurting each other. Part of learning how to have a new normal is having prom, of course. Why would you not? No, seriously, I feel like that would actually be really important if you were in a situation like this. Something like prom or graduation or movie night or whatever would be really important to have something normal to hold on to. Like later in the show, they have Thanksgiving. I feel like stuff like that would be so important to have just some sort of normalcy. That would be just as important as trash cleanup, because if you lost morale, you lost food, function, everything. But more importantly, we see our main character, Cassandra, get murdered. There has been some sort of like emergency going on for a while outside. I've been trying to record around it, but it's just becoming like a big long thing. So anyway, you're gonna hear it. I'm sorry, just sorry. Once Cassandra is killed, everything pretty much changes. It turns into part murder mystery, part struggle for power, and then part, of course, teen drama. There are all of those regular teen drama Degrassi plot lines. I think they hit all of them. Teen pregnancy, coming out, drugs, physical abuse, relationship drama, which is stuff I never really care about unless if it moves the story forward. When you're looking at the show as a whole, it's pretty good. But there are things that make it so much better than it has any right to be. Sometimes I see little pieces that I'm like, ooh, that was cool, that was cool. So here's one of them. Very early in the show, the kids are in a play and they have a coin toss.
Heads. Heads.
So later, after they've been transported to the Upside Down, they're arguing about how to go about things, and they have this scene.
You get heads. It's tails. Best 2 out of 3. Tails, tails,
Do it again.
tails.
I really liked that. I thought that that was unique. I don't see a lot of things that make you think, oh, what are the rules to this world now? Why is that a thing?
It's writing on the wall.
Yeah, no duh.
From the Bible, the Book of Daniel. Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin.
It's nonsense.
It's Hebrew. It means you've been weighed in the balance and found wanting.
You know, it's obviously, there's their relationship, the juxtaposition, the tables have turned, so to speak, whatever, but it makes you think about the world, and I like that. I like that a lot. There are 5 things that really take this show to 11. Number 1, editing. The editing of this show is absolutely peak. The acting is very dramatic, very emotional. So if the editing didn't match it in tone and subtlety, it would make it so laughable or it would make it so dry. The music is clearly inspired by the Twilight soundtrack. I was like, this sounds really similar. What is that? What is that? Oh, that's Twilight. This is a Twilight meme shirt.
Bella, where the hell have you been, Loca?
I have no shame. You can't hurt me. It's my land. I own this bitch. I didn't even plan that. 2, the acting. Holy smokes. These kids are too good at acting. The main actress, I think her name is like Catherine Murray or something. I should probably look. She was in Paranormal Activity 4, which, by the way, I really love the Paranormal Activity movies. Would people watch a video on that? Because, oh my God, I really love them. Oh, guilty pleasure. She's a great actress, though. She's very good. She's convincing. She embodies her character really well. She's very confident. She has this kind of casual way about her. It's believable, and I like that. One of the main characters, Sam Elliott, is deaf. A lot of dialogue is in ASL or includes ASL, and I really liked it. It enhanced the acting. It created more of an atmosphere of community, that's for sure, and understanding, and I just thought that was really great. Honestly, any of the kids, I'm calling them kids, they're probably like all 20-something. Any of the guys on this show are great. There's some really great adversaries, and there's some really lovable characters in this show, but I gotta say, somebody stole the show to the point where she got to post it, Helena fucking Wu. If I were to give the show like 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, one of the points goes entirely to her. Who is the actress for that? Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who is from New Zealand. Holy crap. Amazing actress. Her presence in every scene was just really great. It made things really interesting, and she's a religious character, which normally would be kind of for me.
Can you tell God that I'm sorry?
Shh, no, you're gonna be okay. Look, Kelly put in an IV, look.
She does it so well that it's really great, and I was so impressed by Helena Wu. Number 3, the story. But not because the story is so great, but because the show shines in spite of the story. The being stuck somewhere else thing, Lord of the Flies, Maze Runner situation, it's been done, right? We understand it. The characters are what really bring the story to life, and some of the things in the writing came too slow. Like Cassandra was killed, I think, in the 3rd or 4th episode, and out of 10 episodes, that's pretty slow, because we should have been getting in that investigation, starting those adversarial relationships earlier. But that storyline was actually really interesting, because they go from investigating the death to finding the murderer to prosecuting him and sentencing him to death. And I will talk about that in a minute. The story has major potential, but it's just lacking in a couple places. Like most Netflix series, especially in the first season, if it were given more room to grow, I really think it would have done something very interesting. And number 4, in spite of and because of the plot lines, like I mentioned before, there is a lot of stereotypical teen drama crap in this show. The way that they go about some of this stuff is very unique and in some ways very real. We've got a teen pregnancy and there's a gay relationship, and that's all pretty standard, sorry. But we have this abusive relationship that is very intense. It goes from 0 to 60.
Never really hurt you. You know that.
This guy, Campbell, is a diagnosed psychopath, and he is insanely abusive to this girl, Elle. It starts out pretty violent and then goes to sadistic and torturous by the end of the show. This guy is an absolute menace, and he's very scary, very disturbing, and very convincing. And everyone who's close to him says, you can't just stop him, you have to kill him. Spoiler, he doesn't die. The thing about Campbell is that his psychopathy seems to give him some sort of supernatural ability to know everything that's going on, which I have an issue with. The way the abuse is handled is really intense, but it drives out a sense of hopelessness that is really good. And what I wrote in here was also breaking the rules of the Geneva Convention. As crazy as that sounds, this was such an interesting take that I haven't seen, definitely not in a teen drama. While they are working on investigating and prosecuting Cassandra's murder, they're dealing with how to handle witnesses and arrest people. They come in hard and fast with just a ton of human rights violations. They keep a prisoner from proper food. They beat the crap out of him. There's one girl named Lexi who has started her period during questioning, and she is forced to change in front of 2 guys, and they look at her. Allie starts out appointed as a leader. She didn't want this, but she takes in Cassandra's mantle because Cassandra's murder gives them power to do things in the society in the most sustainable and maintainable way. Allie at first hates it, but then kind of comes into it. But during her time of power,
They humiliated me. It was basically torture, Allie.
They didn't torture you. You got your period. There's no shame in that. Get over it.
she made a choice, and her choice was yikes, at least regarding Lexi. This does lead to public backlash, and they have to navigate that. 5, the gut punches. I will watch whole-blown shows that are better story-wise than this one, better everything-wise, that don't have gut punches like this show did. And that's what makes this show a Lars Land video, because the gut punches in this show messed me up. There's some pretty good writing in this show, but most notably Sam. Sam, when he is talking about his brother Campbell and his diagnosis of psychopathy and what it was like growing up with this guy, is very intense. It is hard to watch. It made me almost nauseous to watch. I haven't seen something like that in this setting in a while. I really liked that. And finally, the most part of this show is the execution. They find the guy who killed Cassandra. He was just like a total MGTOW black pill incel, freaking crazy guy. He says some racist crap right after he gets sentenced, and so you're like, oh, well, I already hated you, but I mean, just go burn, man. You're not welcome in Lars Land. They take Dewey out into the woods, 3 guns, 2 blanks, 1 bullet. Helena Wu comes in and prays with him, and it is the most Helena Wu.
Our Heavenly Father, we have sinned against you in thought and word.
Sorry. I'm really sorry.
Amen.
And Dewey begs for his life. He pisses his pants, and they go and shoot, and they miss. One of the guys throws up, and he can't complete it. So then Allie, this one who was supposed to be this understanding, benevolent leader, gets in there in the firing range, and it works the second time. Then we watch these kids, these 16 to 18-year-olds, go home and grapple with the fact that one of them shot somebody that they knew. I mean, it was just so different. It was absolutely just gut punch. It was great.
Call the play, Luke.
No!
I just really liked it, and that's what made the show better than it should have been, is the gut punches, and the other things. I recommend it. It's worth watching if you want to check it out. My next video is a Beatles video, and I already have it planned out. It's going to be more autobiographical, and I hope people actually watch it. Shit, I hope people actually watch this. I would absolutely love it if you would like and subscribe and all of that jazz. Thanks for visiting Lars Land. Bye! If you've ever watched Lost, you've got to watch my video. You've got to make it worth my time. I've been working on this for so long, and I had this huge setback. They probably would have been ready within like a couple months, and now I don't even know when they're going to be ready. And you've got to watch them. Somebody has to hug me.
My sweet Lord. My Lord. My Lord. But it takes so long, my Lord. My sweet Lord.